Okay guys, this is lesson 3.1. We're still on week 5 notes. I need you to go ahead and get your notes, your book, your pencil, and your paper ready. We're going to be open to page 79. Go ahead and pause until you have everything ready. Your notes, your book, your pencil, and your paper. Okay, what we're going to start talking about in chapter 3 in this lesson are decimals. First we need to figure out what number is our number system based on. Well, okay, if you think back to how people started to learn to count, we used our fingers, and how many fingers do we have? We have 10. So the number that our system is based on is 10. If you think about this, you go from 0 to 9, and then you put a 1, and then you start again with 0 to 9, and then you put a 2 in front of it, and then 0 to 9. So it's 10 numbers. That's our number system. Okay? And the word deci means 10. If you've studied your roots, you know that. Deci means 10, and so our decimal system is based on units of 10. Okay? Each decimal is 10 units, is 10 times the value of the place to its right. Okay? Let's talk about how to read a decimal number. Most of you should know how to do this. I know this isn't coming across real clear on the camera, but you have your notes in front of you. It says 3,485, and anytime you see a decimal, you think and. That's what you say. And 697 10,000ths. You're going to count over the place. The last place is what gets its name, and this is the 10,000ths place. Okay? So right here, it's what digit is in the hundredths place. If it's followed with this TH, we're not talking hundreds, whole number, we're talking decimal. Okay, so we have 3, 4, 8, 5. That gets us to ones, and now we're in our decimal places. Tenths, hundredths. So 6 is the digit that's in the hundredths place. Okay, next, what is the value of 9? The value of 9 here, 9 is in the, tenths, hundredths, thousandths place. So the value is 9,000ths with a TH at the end of it. Okay, look at page 79 at the first example. Here's what it says. Maybe you can see mine. Maybe not. Okay, it says, write a word name for the following decimals. I am not overly concerned that you know how to do that. I want you to look at the solution so you understand that the decimal places have the TH at the end of it, and that every time you see a decimal you use the word and. On part B, where it said 185.007, 185.007, when you write this out, you're not actually going to write 185.007. When you're writing the word for it, it would be 185 and 7. Then you look, what place are we in? Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So it would be 185 and 7 thousandths. That's the number word you would have. Okay, example 2 is a little bit different. It starts off with 2 times 100 added to 5 times 10 added to 7 times 1/10. I'm running out of room here. And then you're going to add 8 times 100th. Okay, so we're going to start. Our largest place value represented is the hundreds. So my 2 will go first. There's a 10, and that's 5 in the tens place. There's nothing in the ones place, so we need to fill that in with a 0. Then I write my decimal. And then I have 7 in the tenths place and 8 in the hundredths. So expanded form looks like this. Writing it back into decimal form or standard form looks like this. 250 and 78 hundredths. Okay? Turn your page in your book to page 80. You get mine turned. Okay? On 80, we're going to talk about comparing decimals. If you have a number like is in example, example 3, 8.7039, and we are comparing it to 8.705. Okay, we'll start here with our ones place. If the ones place are both alike, then you move on. Tenths place, they're both alike. Hundredths, They're both alike. Once we get to the thousandths, this is where we see something different. We're now comparing 3 to 5, and we know that 5 is larger than 3, so your symbol will look like this. Okay? Okay, look at your skill check problems. I want you to attempt those on your own before I show you the answers. Go ahead and look at all 10 skill check problems. Go ahead and pause this, then unpause whenever you're ready to come back and see the answers. Okay, number 1, we're talking about the number in the set of directions 279 and 3,651 10,000ths. They want to know what digit is in the hundredths place. It is the 6. Okay, number 2 says what digit's in the tens place? It's a 7. Number 3, what about the 10,000ths? That was the last place there, and it was a 1. Okay. Number 4 says write a decimal for each word name. The word name was 8 and 4 tenths, so it's 8 and 4 tenths. Okay. Number 5, 47 thousandths. Okay, this part's tricky. You want the 7 to wind up in the thousandths place, so backtrack. Thousandths, hundredths, tenths, and then you have a decimal, okay? Number 6, you're going to take that expanded number and write it into standard form or decimal form. It would be 305 and 27 hundredths. There's my decimal. Number 7, this one's different because they've mixed up the numbers completely. So you have to look what is the largest place value they showed you, and it was in the hundreds, and the digit was 4. So we have 4 in the hundreds. We don't have anything represented in the tens. We have 6 in the ones, and we know we're going to move on to a decimal there. Now we're moving on to our tenths place. So what was being multiplied by 1/10? It was 9. And then hundredths was 4. Okay, so our answer was, that should say, I'm sorry, I read my book wrong. My book's tricky to read. That should say 100. So sorry. 106.94. 106 and 94 hundredths. Okay, on 8, 9, and 10, you are comparing. And I'm just going to write the symbol for you instead of the whole number. Okay. Hopefully you did well on these. If you didn't, you need to go back through and read the instructions on the lesson part itself while we were doing examples before you move on to the lesson. Okay, have a good day.